So then we're going to look at the second question here. So I know that I have an unknown amount of 20ths and I'm adding 7/10 and my total is 17/20. So this one is a little bit trickier because we have to work something out straight away. So I need to take my 7/10 because that is the fraction that I know the amount of. So I take my 7/10 here and I need my denominator to be 20. And I know if I to go from 10 to 20, I've multiplied it by 2 or I've doubled it. So thinking back to what I just said in my previous video, whatever you do to the denominator, you must do to the numerator. So I times that by 2. Or I double it, so 7 times 2, it's in your 7 times table, is 14. But that's great because that's actually given me really useful information for this question. So I now look back to my question. So instead of this being 7/10, we know that it's actually 14/20. But obviously we're not going to write that because we don't need to. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take the 17/20 from our answer here, and I'm going to take our 14/20 from here, and I'm actually just going to subtract them because that will really help me with the rest of my question. This is the last question, so just ignore that. 17/20 take away 14/20. My denominator does not change, so do not take the denominator away from the other one. We keep it the exact same, but I do 17 take away 14. Okay, so I know I have 17 and I take away 14, I'm left with 3. So I'm left with 3/20. You might be thinking, great, I've got my 3/20, but what do I do next? So what you actually do is you found out your answer and you put your 3/20 here. Because now, essentially, the addition would be 3/20. And you're adding your 7/10, but we can also call that 14/20. So if I added them together, remember my denominator does not change. I would add my 3 and my 14, and that would equal 17. And I just double check, and I got the same answer.